The mother of my daughter's boyfriend is horrible. She tried to force me to cancel our trip.
Break them up.
I, 40 female, and the mother of a very nice girl who is dating a very nice boy, both 19. However, she is not quiet when it comes to criticism when she sees BS going on in her social life, including boyfriend's mother's behavior. By the way, this comes from Extension Student 150, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So I've heard stories from the boyfriend's mother, 37, being, in my daughter's words, a lower scale version of one of those weird boy moms. She tended to be overbearing, making very specific tailored jokes for boyfriend, like not only being able to drive my daughter in his car for a month, but letting him drive the other people. Another time, my daughter accidentally left a spicy kiss on his cheek. I wasn't happy about it either, but I wasn't expecting a verbal apology to me from him about it. She was from my daughter, and when I was told, it made me uncomfortable. He has also been pinned with punishment for actions of his sister that I suppose he didn't try to stop despite him not knowing. It's happened enough that the sister only stays at mom's because she won't punish her like their dad does and only punishes the boyfriend. She's renowned for making up those kinds of excuses. From being an educator, she is one of those parents who will call and make excuses for their daughter's behavior. And doing this once, the vice principal told her of a situation they hadn't addressed with her kids yet regarding too much PDA. I never heard about it. And our friend, the principal, said they weren't in trouble when my daughter went asking, and even said the vice principal was out of line giving boyfriend's mother that information. She even said in front of my daughter at least 3 times that boyfriend and a close friend with the same disability could be a cute couple, despite this girl being extremely manipulative and in a relationship herself before she and boyfriend had stopped being friends. Despite all this, I always tried to get my daughter to see the good sides and at least try and see it from a different side and not to be driven crazy by the mom. She continued to be a bit odd, but we met for a senior event that she put off agreeing to until a week before. We'd been inviting boyfriend for months and she wanted to do it all along until she didn't want to do it. She seemed nice and told me she wanted to take my daughter to a concert that summer. I agreed. And we kept talking, and I felt like it went well. The concert came up and went to HE double hockey sticks. They drove a big cedar car with 2 adults and 4 other adult kids that broke down halfway through the trip. My daughter messaged me, but kept it brief. The car broke down. Boyfriend's mom was screaming and freaking out, not doing anything to fix the problem. My daughter looked up rental car services and recommended they call the police to find a local tow. It took half an hour to do this, and when they did, boyfriend's mom used boyfriend's money without telling him. He only knew he paid for the rental car, but later found out she took money for everything without telling him. Uber, tow repairs, tow about $3,000 until after the fact. What kind of parent takes away from their kid?
Yeah, like took $3,000 away from your son? What?
Heck no. My mom, thank you, mother, had no ties to my bank account whenever she made it. She even took me to the bank to get it set up and had no ties to it whatsoever.
Parents should not be taking out money from your child's bank account unless you've talked to them and there's honestly, they should be doing it, but it should be like, oh, okay, this money has to go out because we're paying for your college something.
This made my daughter even more uncomfortable. Less about the event and more about the character boyfriend's mother displayed. I agreed and understood, but again, I didn't want to play devil's advocate and try to sympathize. This Baptist behavior seemed a little important for what ended up happening. We planned my daughter's trip for months, and we went for her birthday/senior trip to a destination at first only 2 hours away, and then a final one that was 4. At the first destination, as we were about to leave, boyfriend got a call through my daughter's phone. He got grim and was a bit sad and wouldn't talk to my daughter about it. Before we get to what happened, keep in mind, she knew where we were when she called because she wanted an update for every little thing. Leaving the driveway, getting on the highway, everything. She does this for everything for her 19-year-old. We made it to dinner at the final destination and boyfriend was still quiet but told me he had to talk to me. I felt uncomfortable because I knew my daughter was distraught about not knowing what was going on, but I said I would because I was the adult and I needed to know what was up. He said something at home and boyfriend's mother needed to talk to me. I said when we get to the hotel after dinner. We ate, got in the car, started driving in another country and heard the horror phrase, "Let me get the phone to her." As I tried to navigate this place with my husband, I was handed the phone to talk to boyfriend's mother. She said the worst thing that could happen did. Her nephew had a tumor they found out that afternoon and was going to be operated on tomorrow, ? I felt awful. We have our own bad luck on trips with family members passing away and getting sick every trip without fail, I felt sympathetic. That was until I was told that boyfriend had to somehow get home to see his cousin. I was in a car with 4 other people who had been in the car for a total of 6 hours. I couldn't just turn around and leave without telling them or consulting my husband. I did try and make an effort, though, saying we could try and get back earlier than we intended tomorrow, leaving a couple of hours and getting there maybe around 7. I got the equivalent of, have a heart, he needs to be here sooner.
Oh my God.
Wait. I didn't know what sooner should be.
Okay, also, they've just driven all of this way. They can't just turn around immediately. That's insane. What do you mean have a heart? Figure if you need him to be back there, then figure out a flight. I don't know.
Yeah,
You can't just tell people that they have to turn around after a 7-hour drive or whatever, however long that drive was.
It seems like
Immediately, at least.
this boyfriend's mother uses everyone as their little minions to do XYZ for her.
Yeah, she's trying to control everyone. She's like, okay, well, you have to turn around.
I threw out that we could leave right in the morning, but hopefully get there for 4, and she got pissed. She yelled that this was a family tragedy and that would be too late, that his cousin might not wake up the same, and boyfriend had to be there in person to see him before he went under. I stood my ground and said I needed to talk with my husband before I made any decisions. I was not going to turn around and just leave without talking to my husband like she clearly was wanting. She bit back, saying that if the shoe were on the other foot, she'd do everything to get my daughter back home. That pretty much ended the conversation. My husband ended up driving 4 hours back to meet up halfway with boyfriend's mom, her not even saying thank you to him and just taking boyfriend. On our way home the next day, boyfriend told my daughter that on the way home, his mom doubled down and said she hated me and felt bad for my daughter and husband. She didn't drop the animosity, getting mad about boyfriend, wanting to go to family events with those people, and now inserting herself on some important dates. Like a tattoo my daughter paid for boyfriend. She didn't contribute, but just blew up. She won't let him do simple things we offer, like borrowing my daughter's car. By the way, we can let you borrow our voices for as much as you want. If you go to your favorite podcast platform, just search up OK Storytime on Apple, Spotify, wherever. Dude, boom. Borrow us all day if you want.
We'll be there.
My daughter is now more uncomfortable, not just because of this, but also how because boyfriend's mom is pregnant and is still smoking green in front of her when she's there and talking about baby stuff. Am I the a-hole for not leaving another country at 11 at night to get boyfriend home to see his cousin for what I found out later was
exploratory surgery? I freaking knew it.
I feel like I added fuel to the fire that I didn't need to, but I also feel that it wasn't my impromptu choice to make.
Yeah, no, I knew it. Exploratory surgery, it just saying like they were checking if there was anything there. It wasn't like it's not like an actual surgery.
She just found.
They're looking for something to see. I believe that's my understanding of exploratory surgery is that you're looking if there are any like malignant tumors or anything.
Dude, some high-strung parents just rub me the wrong way. I don't know how to deal with them. I feel uncomfortable around them and I don't want to be near it whatsoever. It just, it's like, why are we feeling this way? Life's going to happen. It's going to be all right. You can't control the world. To be honest, I don't think anyone would fault you for wanting to finish your daughter's senior trip before rushing back for a family emergency. I mean, it's not like you were shrugging it off and refusing to help at all. You were still trying to find a solution and be there for your daughter as well as boyfriend's family. Sometimes you just can't please everyone and you have to do what's best for your own family too. Opie says, completely agree. I hold no animosity towards boyfriend's mom. Just don't appreciate the immature behavior and doubling down. Stuff happens and it can get emotional. I just feel bad about this affecting boyfriend and girlfriend's relationship in regards to boyfriend's mother's side of the family. She took her sister's truck to get him and have no doubt this spread like this stuff tends to. Comment 2, there was actually an emergency because the boyfriend's mom sounds like the super controlling type who would make up an emergency to make him come home. Opie says she has tried to guilt trip him into coming home from a camping trip on his birthday before, but nothing so dramatic yet. From what we know, she blew it a bit out of proportion in the most serious way I can say in context to the scenario of a brain tumor. She said it would change the cousin's personality and he possibly wouldn't remember people, making it sound like they were operating to possibly removing some or all the tumor. She is on disability after being a LPN for a back surgery, so semi-credible. It more ended up being exploratory, opening him up to get a view of what's going on. Still dangerous because brain surgery, but not nearly as invasive as she made it out as context. He got diagnosed and scheduled surgery in less than 24 hours. That's impossible, right? They need time for tests. They need to check up before putting someone under. And that's the end of the story.
Dang. Well, yeah, I don't trust this mom. She's sus. It's like, what do you do? I think you just offer the boyfriend a safe space,
Yeah.
you know, where he can have people who love and support him, because it seems like his mom is really out of whack.
Yeah.